Good evening. It is 6 p.m. on Friday, March 27th. This is a meeting of the Prudential Committee. The first order of business, all those who are able, please stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call. Mark Lynch here.
John Havel here.
Seth Burdick present. Is there any public comment?
No hands raised at this time.
Seeing none, our next agenda item is the approval of the meeting minutes from our last meeting. I noticed a number of errors or clarifications that need to be made. And Mr. Perone pointed out one as well. So we're going to put that off until our next regularly scheduled meeting and make the necessary changes at that time. The only substantive agenda item for this evening relates to the Katuitt School building demolition and site remediation. The bids for that project were due last night at 5 o'clock. They have been opened by our project manager and reviewed. And I will let them fill us all in starting now.
Do you mind if I share my screen?
Please. I should note that from our project manager left field, we have Joe Sullivan, Kevin Sullivan, and Kayla Gallo participating in this meeting.
Okay. Can everyone see this? Yeah.
Yes, we got it.
Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 6 bidders. They're in order from lowest at the top down. The first bidder, the lowest bidder, came in at $499,000. But they did not include the site work, so they will not be qualified. We'll have to reject their bid. And then the second lowest bidder after that came in at $961,450. And they did not have a full scope included in their bid as well. So they will also have to be rejected. So our lowest qualified and eligible bidder is S&R Corporation. They came in at $1,587,666. They completed their bid with full scope, so it's demo, abatement, and the site restoration. So our total project budget is at $1,861,431. We originally were estimating a little bit under the 1.5. So obviously we came in over what we originally were estimating, but we were able to streamline the budget and move contingency over to offset the original construction cost. So we'll still come in with the full total project budget at 1.8 and change. Is there any questions or anything?
Kayla,
I do.
I was going to ask how much contingency would be left.
So we have about a little bit under 6% contingency from the construction cost. So we feel like this is a healthy budget that we can maintain.
And on a, just for Kayla, if I may, on a project of this magnitude and this project of this style, 6% is a healthy contingency for a project of this size.
I would just point out that the middle 3 bids are all within a pretty narrow range, all within a range of $100,000, which I find interesting and helpful. Can you just maybe explain a little more why we have to reject the first two bids? One, of course, is dramatically lower than they're both dramatically lower than the others.
Yeah, so Acme, who was the lowest bidder at just under 500,000, they only bid on, I believe it was the demolition. So maybe abatement too, but it completely excluded the site restoration portion of it. And so it wasn't the entire scope that we went out to bid. So that's why they have to be rejected. And then North Lawrence Contracting, they missed about 1,500 tons. Where did my note go? Sorry.
Abatement.
Abatement, yeah. And essentially what would happen is it's not the entire scope. So essentially what would happen is they would end up having to be a change order, and it's just not, they didn't bid on the entire scope of what we need done, which is why they're being rejected as well.
So Mark, if I may, typically, as we get these bids in, we de-scope with the lowest bidder to make sure that it's comprehensive and conclusive. And obviously after conversation, there was some, accounting errors that were made based on, takeoffs associated with their bid. So with that reason, and that sole reason is the reason why we would need to reject that scope. We look at the most qualified and quantified bidder at that point as we move down the line. And the same with North Lawrence Contracting. Our team went through that process as well, and it indicated clearly that there was some missing scope. And part of the bidding procurement and process is to make sure that it's comprehensive, and that both of those bids were not.
Okay, any other comment from left field at all?
We don't have anything else.
If not, I would make a motion to contract S&R Corporation as the lowest eligible and qualified bidder for the demolition, abatement, and site remediation work at 140 Old Oyster Road, Katuitt, Massachusetts.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Yeah. The vote was unanimous. Kayla, can you briefly describe our next steps, both in terms of contracting and then, well, let's just start from there.
Yeah. So I will reach out to SNR. Well, I'll approve these and post them. And then I will reach out to SNR. They already have kind of like a template of what the contract looks like. It was part of the bid package. I know Mark from your team has already started to review it, so I'll work with him on the legal side of it.
Let me interrupt 1 minute, Kayla. By Mark, we're referring not to Mark Lynch, although I have looked at the contract, but to Mark Boudreau, our legal counsel. And that form is an American Institute of Architects kind of form contract that will need to be, I think adapted is too strong a word, but will need to be personalized to this corporation, but he thought the form was fine.
Yeah, it's a very standard contractor owner agreement that we use in construction. It'll be tailored to obviously the Katuitt Fire District and the project. But it's very typical like terms and conditions that we would see on any project like this. So I'll work with him to get that finalized, and then we will send it out to you guys for signature. Well, obviously once it's been like reviewed and approved, we'll send it out for you guys' signature, and then we'll send it to SNR for their signature, and then they'll be completely contracted and ready to start.
Part of the process Kayla was indicating is the bond and insurance certificates will all have to be issued as well for the execution of the contract. So we'll chase all that down as well.
Mark,
Okay.
or actually Kayla or Kevin or Joe, is there any timing indicated in this bid? When they start, when they think they'll complete?
Yeah, so it's very, very clear that they need to be completed by June 15th, in time for the growing season.
And the start time is all gonna to answer your question completely, your start time is all gonna hinge on how quickly we can execute the contract. We can't engage them until the contract is executed and they can't perform any work. So over the next couple of weeks, we hopefully will iron that out, and then we'll have a kickoff meeting with that group in the district just to go through sequence, the logistics plan and schedule.
Okay. One final question. You mentioned the 6% contingency.
Mhm.
Who's holding is that? Is that within their S&R's contract, or is that between S&R and our authorized amount?
That is the owner's contingency.
I'm sorry, Kayla.
That's the owner's the construction contingency, so it's not through S&R.
Okay, thank you.
We hold
I can
that
send
within
you
the
an updated-
1.8.
Yeah, I can send you an updated budget as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other, anything else we need to know? Well, I assume the contract, can be signed, by DocuSign to move that along?
Yeah, whatever you guys prefer. We can do it either way. I have DocuSign, so I can send it to you that way if you're okay with that. Or we can come bring it to you hard copy. It's up to you.
I think DocuSign will probably work.
Okay.
Anything else that, you feel like we should know? Or are we finished?
I think that's it. I'll make sure I send you the schedule and the budget, but besides that, I think we're all set to get going.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'd just like to let the district know, I mean, to Mark's point where you saw bids within $100,000 of each other for the three that actually carried the majority of the scope. They were looking at great drawings. There was a great package put together, and overall, I think the competitiveness amongst the bids just shows you that you got value associated with it. And the good news is, I think the overall team and the district put a good package together to make sure that we stayed with under our budget, which is great.
Okay. Is there any public comment? Go ahead. Bring your chair.
Molly, Carol Zeiss, 86 Putnam Avenue. Molly could not be here tonight, so she asked me to deliver that we did indeed get a signature on the amendment to the enabling legislation to allow the Katuitt Fire District to allocate, let's see, what is it? Raise and appropriate and or transfer and appropriate at annual district meetings. So that's copy from you. I can send you it electronically as well.
That would be great. And you
Okay.
can send it to all three of us. That would be super.
And then we want to submit the article. We took the wording exactly as it is for the library and just changed out the amount and changed out the organization. So for you to consider adding to the warrant for the 2026 ADM. And I can also follow that up in electronic if you prefer.
For all three of
Yep.
us, that would be
Yep.
great.
Yep.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
I would also note that my understanding is that the water district's enabling act change also was signed into law.
Correct. They were back to back numbers. So, yeah.
All right. Any other public comment? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn. So moved. Seconded. All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Congratulations, and you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you for your effort, guys. I think this worked out pretty well so far.
Well, that's it.